screen that should start any moment. I post all of the classes that I teach to a YouTube channel that I manage, and I will also send out a recap that will include the link to this recording in it as well. In that recap, there's a short link to a survey. If you guys have a couple of moments to fill that out, just like all of my colleagues ask, it is greatly appreciated because it helps our managers know how good we are doing in the field. All that aside, let's go ahead and get started and talk about saving listings from Listing Concierge and having those on your computer to then upload into a cloud service partner. Now, the reason, just a quick, brief overview as to why we're doing all of this, for those that are on the TMAP calls this month at Product Studio, there are a monthly call that you can sign up for in Sales Pro. I highly recommend it because no other real estate brokerage is as transparent with the development of their tools. And as agents, you guys should definitely be eager to be on top of what Coldwell Banker is developing and how you can be a part of voicing how those tools are shaped. One of the things, to make a long story short, is that Listing Concierge was originally developed by a third party who created the software that we now use. Over the last year, Coldwell Banker has developed our own version of that software in-house to be able to better accommodate changes and different materials that our agents have expressed that they wanted out of the program, that the original foundation that the program was built on by that third party couldn't accommodate. So Coldwell Banker found a solution in redeveloping that software in-house, so we now have control over it and can develop it and redevelop it as needed. And that is why you will need to transfer everything out of an old system into a new one, because it's going from something that was managed by a developer to something that is now being managed by Coldwell Banker and done in-house. So that's the why. Let's get to the how. Everybody that's been in classes with me before knows I'm 100% about workflow. If you organize yourself, this process is way too easy. Shouldn't require more than 15 to 20 minutes per listing. And if you block off an hour or two per week, even if you've got 20 listings in Listing Concierge, you'll be done before the end of the month. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. What you guys are looking at is my desktop. Now, this is where it all starts. As you can see, I'm going to move this out into the center. I have created a folder on my desktop called Listing Concierge Assets. We right-click, create a new folder, and I just called that Listing Concierge Assets because in this folder, I am creating several subfolders, which are every listing we are saving. So I've got 234 blank street. I've got 123 fake street. Let's say I've only got 3 listings in Listing Concierge that I've purchased. So I need to save one more. Now, obviously, I'm not an agent. One of my agents, Willie, has been kind enough to let me use his account as an example. So that last listing of mine that I need to save is going to be 125 32nd Avenue in Santa Cruz. As you can see, I've already created a new folder. I right-clicked, created a new folder, titled it 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz, and it is currently empty. I'm going to fill that with all of the assets I need, and then we can upload all of my listings that I've saved in one foul swoop. So we can pretend that I've already got 234 blank street and 123 fake street already saved. Let's go into our Listing Concierge dashboard. As you can see, I picked the listing I need to save, and now we're on the listing dashboard where you can see everything associated with the order that we purchased. In this case, it was a gold package, so we've got all of our goodies right here. Now, the fun part is things like the mailer, the brochure, the sold postcards, the flyers, and advertising are all downloaded in the same easy way. So we're going to go over that, and then we'll go over things like links and your YouTube video. First, let's start with the default, right? We want to grab those photos. This is obviously only applicable to if you used one of the 5 photographers in the Listing Concierge system. Obviously, when you purchase an order, the photographer will then put the photos into the system for you. I'm not going to talk about if you purchase with someone outside of the system because it's a different process, and we're not talking about that today anyway. This is if you've got orders that you purchased in the system. All of your photography, like I said, is already uploaded in here, nice and clean. All we have to do, easy peasy, click on that select all button. You will see all of our photos get selected. And then we want to download the high res by just clicking on high res. You don't need low resolution photos. All you have to save for future marketing purposes, for advertising purposes, whatever the case may be that you are using these marketing assets for. You can make a low resolution out of a high resolution image, but you cannot make a high resolution out of a low resolution photo. Only save the high res. End of story. Moving on. As you can see, the download has started, and I'm using Google Chrome. So I've got this handy little button that I can click, and I can hit show in folder. That will take me right to my downloads folder where the item I just downloaded was saved. For most computers, it will go right into your downloads folder. Now, all we have to do is go into our Listing Concierge Assets folder, and you can see I can left click and hold on my listing photos and drag them over, and you can, you might be able to read there, but it says move to 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz. So I'm dragging it, hovering over the folder I want to drop it into, and I'm going to let go. As you can see, it disappeared from my downloads folder. And now when I click on 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz, there are listing photos saved in there. Awesome. Now we can rinse and repeat with some of the other materials. Got my photos saved. Let's go ahead and do my brochures next. We're going to click on Listing Dashboard. Get back to our Listing Dashboard. And let's say I want to grab my brochure. Like I said, a lot of these ones are going to be done the same way. So I click here, I can see the one that was approved and sent to me. There's a little gray arrow right underneath the UPS tracking information. If I click that, it is going to, as you can see right here, start downloading that flyer. That brochure, I mean. Let's go back to Listing Dashboard. We can also download that mailer in the exact same way. And I am going to do just that. And there you go. It is downloading. And again, we can do that for something like the advertisement. Now, the advertisement only gives you what the ad looks like. So it gives me the copy of that gold ad. It always will behoove you, if you can, save a copy of one of the publications you are running that ad in occasionally for a listing, or save the publication list. So you can say, this is what the ad looks like, and this is where it ran. The reason why we save all of these assets, again, if you've been in any of my classes, people hear with their eyes. You can tell somebody something until they're blue in the face, until you're blue in the face, I mean, but it will never resonate with someone as much as it will if you can show it to them. Visual representations of your business are proof versus anecdotal testimonials of your business are just that, anecdotes. This way you've got materials that you can put in front of them and say, look, this is how I do what I do. I digress. We downloaded what we needed. Let's go ahead and move some of this stuff into our Listing Concierge Assets folder. I am going to go right into my File Explorer. I'm going to click on Documents to open up my Files Explorer. And then now I can click right on Downloads. And here is my downloads folder. I can see the 3 things I just downloaded are all preview and a bunch of numbers. What does that mean for me? Oh my God. Well, let's go ahead and open one of these. And I can see that this is, I think, my lovely brochure. I just have to sign into Adobe real quick. Give me one moment. All right, back from our commercial break, we can see that I've got this file open, and it is, as we scroll down, this is obviously from my order, and this is indeed my brochure. So again, let's say I want to save my brochure for marketing purposes in the future, to be able to show to people, and preview in a ton of numbers. I'm never going to remember what that is. I'll have to open it each time. So what am I going to do? I'm going to right click. I'm going to hit rename. I call it brochure. And just like that, I can drag, move to 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz, and the file will move. Now let's open this one. It's my advertisement. So I'm going to right click, rename, newspaper ad. And that means that, Jesus. Whoops, let me just fix that real quick. And that makes this the mailer. And guess what we're going to do? Right click, rename, mailer. And I can drag both of these items right over into 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz. Open that up, we can see, look at all of that good stuff that is now saved right in here. Let's go back to our folder. So what about the stuff we can't download easily like that? Well, there's two options. The first one is we can save all of those links, things like Matterports, YouTubes, websites, to a Word document. Let's go back to Microsoft Desk, and this is a great time to introduce Office 365 and email. Here is where you will find all of the tools located in the Office suite that are available to you. You're going to go ahead and click yes to be signed in with our CB NorCal, with our CB Desk account, because this is how our Microsoft account is what our Microsoft accounts are linked with. And OneDrive is where we'll be storing everything in just a moment, so we'll put a pin in that. But right now, what we're looking at is Microsoft Word. I am going to click on that, and then we can click New Blank Document. And now what we can do is create a document where we can save all of those good links that we need. This works like any Microsoft Word processor, and all we have to do, zoom in a little bit. We're going to click first up here where it says document 3, and we're going to rename this links for 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz. Make it easy for yourself. And we can go ahead and center our text. And let's go back to our Listing Concierge dashboard. Let's go to our property website. All we got to do is copy the link and save it on our document. Go right here to URLs. I can click on this URL and see that this is my website. And I just copy this link, right click, copy. Again, you can just copy the link from right here. Also, you don't have to open the website itself if you don't want to. And we can go right back here and paste it into our system. Same thing if you have a Matterport or you've got a TV commercial, because those are all uploaded into the system onto a YouTube channel for at home in Northern California. I've got a separate series of classes I do on YouTube. Got, pardon me, the class coming up again next week. So I'm not going to dive too much into the nuts and bolts of this. Join that class or watch that review, and that's where I go over YouTube specifically. All we got to do is grab our share link right here. And again, I will include this website in the recap. We go to this handy website, y2mate.com. We paste our share link right here, and we've got this handy 720p download link. I can click on download, and as you will see, my file will indeed be preparing for download. This gives us a copy of that commercial that you can then put to your own YouTube channel, put onto your social media accounts, and save as a part of the assets with the rest of the materials. Now, while I wait for that to download, I can also add that link right here and save it along with the rest of the stuff I'm saving. So let's say I've got all my links saved here. All we have to do is click File, Save As, download a copy. And just like that, this has now been downloaded. We can come back here, download our video, and we can close all of these windows now because we don't need these. Let's go back to our listing dashboard real quick, and we can minimize this. Let's go into our downloads and grab the two things we just saved, the document with our links and my video, which you can see right here has been nicely downloaded. Take both of these items and drop them in here. Now, for example, and time's sake, let's say I've got everything I need for this listing now saved, and I've got all of my listings saved because this was my last one. Got everything that I want. I am going to go ahead and now upload all of my listings into my OneDrive account. How do I do that? Let's go back to CB Desk, Office 365, and email. Now we can take that pin out of OneDrive because we're going to talk about it. OneDrive, like I talked about, is a cloud storage service provider owned by Microsoft. Looks like a little cloud. We're going to click on it, and this is what you will open up to. This looks like any file explorer you use on your computer. Yours might look empty because mine is actually linked with my computer to make a one-to-one copy. But here you can see all of your files, when they were modified, by whom, size, and if you're sharing that folder with anybody or not. You can obviously select folders. You can move them. You can delete them in bunches. You can download things from here. But again, this works like any file explorer that you're using on your computer. Up at the top here, you've got a bar that we will, you can add new things to this. We will be uploading stuff in just a second. Sync and automate don't really matter to you. You can change the sort if you want to sort them by file type. The default is by name. You can change by modifying them, when they were modified, or by size. And then you can also change the view. If you don't like the list view, but you'd rather see them in tiles, you can view it like that. Whatever is aesthetically pleasing to you. And again, you've got a menu bar right here. Libraries, if you're sharing with anybody. Again, it's bigger details we're not going to really get into. And then here's, a recycle bin for things you've deleted, recent files that you've worked with, and your files. Now, all that said, right, we've done all of our homework already. We've spent the last few weeks preparing everything. All of our listings are saved in our individual folders and are ready to go. So now that we're all set, in one easy swoop, all we have to do is hit upload, folder, and then choose our folder on the desktop. Listing Concierge Assets, upload. Just like that. Hit upload, easy peasy, everything's done. A status bar will immediately pop up right here and will show you everything that is being uploaded. And then we can instantly see right here, Listing Concierge Assets is here. It was created a few seconds ago. And as I open it, I can see as everything is being uploaded, I now have all of my assets saved and ready for future uses, whether I need to repurpose them for personal marketing, for listing marketing, as a part of presentations, whatever the case may be, I have got them saved on a cloud provider and not just on physical storage where hard drives and hardware can go bad. That is it. That is the process of saving what you need and getting it uploaded to a cloud partner that will allow for excellent long-term storage. I am going to go ahead and stop the screen share and open up the floor to any questions. So feel free to unmute yourself. I will also be looking into the chat to see if there are anything I can help with. There is nothing in the chat. So I will put a handful of seconds on the clock before I go ahead and call the meeting.